my stream just randomly crashed. I don't know. The internet here been kind of spotty lately. But man, anybody that ever played basketball in the hood know how to get down for real though. Anybody that ever played basketball in the hood know how it gets down. I remember that time. There was this time again. I was in the fourth grade at the time as well. Like I was going to the fourth grade. I would say most of the crazy shit that happened in my life was around that time. And most of the shit that happened was around that time, honestly. And man, it was just dude at the park one day, like we asking cousin again, like, hey man, can you take us to the black park? Take us to the black park. And he over here, yeah, let's go to the black park real quick. We go to the black. We go to the black park. I got my skateboard, got my basketball, ready to do my shit again, man. So, and like I said, you ever play basketball in the hood, you know how competitive it get. Y'all on that court playing like you win the NBA or something. So, I made up with this one dude because we originally play basketball, and then he ends up coming over here and he's asking, he play. I said, yeah, you can play. And it turns out we was playing with him. Like after this day, like we'd play all the time. Like we'd always play the basketball all the time. We was up there, he was up there, we playing basketball. But mind you, this was the first day we met. And that just shows you how competitive it get in basketball in the hood. So the first day we met, playing basketball, you know, we got there at noon. We were still playing until like 5 o'clock. And it was getting heated. Around that time, it was starting to get heated. Like we had our shirts off, we sweating. Shit, we doing full court. It's like 7 of us on the court doing what we do. As this is the early 2010s, by the way. Like it's like 2010. I don't even think it was 2010. It had to been like maybe 2015. Maybe 2015. Can't remember, but as I was saying, man, he was crossing my shit. I was crossing his shit. I left his shit on the curb. He was leaving my shit on the curb. It was just that. It was becoming bad blood between us. It was this close to getting deadly type shit. It was this close to getting deadly out there. Like it was almost like we was going back and forth on the net type shit. Like it was getting bad. That's how it started off. We was both going back and forth on the net. Then that shit turned deadly quick. Cause it's like all because of some basketball, you know. And again, I don't know why, but I do. But it was, man. Long story short, I forgot what happened, man. I think he accidentally fouled me or something, and then I pushed him, and then he pushed me back. He said, "You really want to go down this route?" He said, "You really want to go down this route?" I said, "We can go down this route. Like we can really go down this route right now." And I mean, we just got up on each other, started pushing each other, this, that, and the third. And then, you know, the adults had to come in and break it up because, you know, apparently they're talking about the police around here, this, that, and the third. And so they was not trying to let us fight it out. But we was over there, up on each other, man. We was pushing, shoving, whatever you want to do, spitting on. Nah, we weren't spitting on each other, but still, we was doing a whole bunch of shit though. But it was getting bad out there, man. Like we all had our shirts out. We was all ready to fight, man. Like, cause he accidentally fouled me, you know. It was an accident. But the fact that he was crossing my shit a few times, you know, I felt hella played, so I had to do something about that. I can't let you keep crossing me like this. Yeah, I know I got a little bit of my crossing off, but not as much as he was crossing me though. Like my ankles was on the verge of like splitting off. So, you know, it became that. But after that, I ain't gonna lie, same shit. I went to school one day. Summer break was over. Guess who I see walking down the hall with him? And me and him lock eyes. And he's like, "What's up?" I'm like, "What up?" Cause it's like, damn, like, what's good, bro? I ain't seen you since that day. But it was cool since then. And then graduated from the 4th grade. I see him again in the 7th grade. Yep, see him again in the 7th grade. And it's just like, it's crazy because like Robinson is no, not Robinson. It was a school called Ross I was going to when I seen him for the first time again. And then when we graduated from the 4th grade, I seen him again at Robinson. It was just like Robinson was nowhere near Ross, so that's what was confusing. Like, why am I seeing all these people here? But it's like y'all just happen to all move to the same neighborhood. Crazy, actually. We all just happen to move to the same neighborhood. But we never had beef again like that. It was all cool with us, man. It was all cool, man. 7th and 8th grade was cool, man. But then see it. I went to a different school in 9th grade. They did too. They stuck together. I ain't talked to them since, but shout out to them though, because it was different story for a different day though. But like, man, there's a lot of stories I can tell you about the Black Park, man. But if I tell you them stories, we might be streaming for over 32 hours, so over 32 hours, man. Let me tell you about this other time that I almost got into a fight with this one. I ain't even gonna say his name though, because if he ever come across the stream one day, I'm sure he'll ever know. I'm sure he'll probably recognize it. Oh yeah, I mean, you used to talk. Shit, I ain't over here talking shit. I'm just saying, like, I remember this time we almost got into a fight, man, because man, I don't know. Half the shit I ain't gonna remember, but this is middle school year, and I remember we almost got into a fight. And this is because I ain't gonna tell you about that one. I'm gonna tell you about this one time, man, when I almost got jumped. I'm gonna tell you about this one time I almost got jumped. I was hanging around this one dude, man. We used to stay up. We was with my grandma at the time, and it was with my grandma at the time at her house. She loves to go outside and play, and it was just a group of kids. Apparently, they was running around terrorizing the neighborhood, and the neighborhood kids and the neighborhood cats and stuff. You know, like they get kicked out every few days and shit like that. And every time their mom tell them, and this is like around 4th grade year too. And every time their moms would be like, "Don't ever come back," this, that, and the third, and then they would start banging on the door, yelling like this. They was on some crazy time. They was talking about like, okay, if the neighborhood cats start going missing, don't blame me type shit. I'm like, what the hell? But you know, it's like, that ain't had nothing to do with me, because I never knew them niggas, like. and I'm on a mini trampoline. You know those little small trampolines about that big. I'm over here jumping on it, just doing whatever, you know, standing there with a dumbass look on my face. And there's this group of kids that started coming down the street, and they kept looking at me, man. They kept looking at me while I was playing with this one dude on the trampoline. And apparently they knew who we was, this, that, and the third. And then, so I'm telling you, they walked around that block 3 times. I'm like, well, what are you niggas plotting? You know, what they plotting on? And, you know, this wasn't necessarily in the hood, but it was close by, so, you know. And where I come from, you know, it's like, I'm sure it's like most other places, honestly. So I ain't even gonna sit there and hype my place up like, oh, yeah, where I come from, you know, because, you know. But we're just gonna say, like, most places, you can just walk down the block, or you can just cross the street onto the next block. Like, block 1, block 2, right here in the middle is the street. All I gotta do is just walk across the street and I'm in the hood. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I was just on the nice neighborhood, or the semi-nice neighborhood just 2 seconds ago. But shit, whatever. But yeah, you basically walk across the street. There's the bad neighborhood right there, and that's the neighborhood they was from. You know, mind you, my grandma was on the semi-nice neighborhood, and I wasn't from that part of the neighborhood. I was from the bad neighborhood, but I was like 7 blocks away though. But kept walking around the block, kept eyeballing us, and I'm just like, man, again, I'm not really thinking nothing, because again, I just got a dumbass look on my face while jumping on a trampoline playing with this dude. And so they ended up calling him over here, and apparently he knew who he was, and I kept saying, like, do you know who they are? He kept saying no. So if that was me today, and he kept saying no, and then they told him to come here, and he just walks up, I would have been like, man, what kind of timing you want? But, you know, again, I was in 4th grade. But yeah, he ended up calling him over there and stuff. And they started pointing at me and stuff. I said, way to make it obvious that you're talking about me over here. And so and they started yelling something towards me. They said, hey man, you lucky he told us you wasn't who that was, because you almost got your ass jumped. I said, you wasn't finna do shit. I said, you wasn't finna do shit. They said, oh yes we was. I said, no you wasn't. And I said, all right. And then I never seen him again though, of course, but because it's like, even then when they said that, I'm still thinking to myself, why would I say that? Because they were like, oh you wasn't, and they would have walked up to me and just started doing whatever, but they didn't. But I was trying to act tough for the net, because I was on Instagram Live at that time, and I'm over here trying to act tough for the net, and of course there was a bunch of women that was possibly watching that Instagram Live, but shit, who knows for real at that time, because I was just doing whatever. I was just trying to look tough on the net though. But I never seen him again. It's crazy, I never seen him again. But they said I look like somebody else. They was talking about, oh yeah, you lucky, but never saw them little niggas again, ever seen them again, which is cool with me, because it's like I didn't want to see them, because all I know is I would have probably seen a bunch of feet and knees, and that's not what I was trying to see. But yeah, just another day in the hood, right? Mistaken identities and getting jumped. So at some point, man, I got mistaken for somebody else so many times, man. I was just like, man, please somebody come steal my identity. Somebody physically steal my identity. That way I can just live a life of peace, But it just wasn't working out for me, man. And there was another time I was at my grandma's house, and it's crazy how much shit that we've done, me and my brother's done, coming up, that my mom nor grandma know about, because we was bouncing back and forth between them. So it's crazy how much shit we done and that they don't know about. The chances of them ever coming across the stream is little to none, so I'm not worried. I'm gonna say everything, but man, and like I said, most of the shit that you hear is probably from 4th grade year. But man, there was like 10 of us outside, man. It was just 10 of us out there just terrorizing the streets, man. Terrorizing the street of Maryland, not the state Maryland, but like we're on a street called Maryland. We were just terrorizing the street of Maryland. So, yeah, we was just outside blaring loud music, going back and forth at the net with all the locals, doing whatever, just doing whatever we do. And one dude walked up, man. Shit, I ain't never seen him before, but he was friends with one of the other dudes. Man, he had a bag full of BB guns and shit. I'm like, where did you get all that from? Of course, I was thinking that in my mind, but I didn't really ask him though, because he would have probably thought I was the feds. And you know how it is in the hood. If they think you're the feds, they're not even gonna think twice before just letting up a dozen shots on you. So I ain't said nothing though. But they said, y'all trying to have a BB gun war? He said, hey, big, you trying to have a BB gun war? But I was kind of like, yeah, let's have a BB gun war, man. Let's do it. I was all for it, man. He had MP5s, man. P90s, Drake switch. No, I'm playing, but but he definitely had like some type of MP5, I think it was. They had a bunch of pistols in there. He had 19. Man, it don't matter. All I know is they had over 3,000 guns in that bag, and we was just over there. We spread out all across the neighborhood, man. The street of Maryland. We spread out all across the street of Maryland, man. And like I said, there was 10 of us, and we were having a BB gun war, man. And man, I had horrible aim, man. I ain't gonna lie, a few times I almost got hit up. I almost got hit up for my lunch money out there. I ain't gonna lie, but I was hiding in them bushes, man. I was telling you, I was on that, fall asleep in your bushes and wake up in your grass type time, and that's what I was on. But shit, I ain't gonna lie, I think I did get hit up at least once though. He got me in the side of my arm, I ain't gonna lie. I tried to sneak back home. I was done after that, man. I tried to sneak back home, but they was like, hey man, where you going? I said, I was trying to find a hiding spot. They said, no, it looked like you was going back home. I said, no, I wasn't going back home, man. But in reality, I was, because he seen me put the gun down. So, of course, like, what are you trying to go hide with no gun? It makes no sense. But I didn't think he seen me, but he definitely seen me put that gun down. He said, why'd you put the gun down? I said, Oh, I put it in my pocket. I didn't know it fell. My fault. Let me pick it up real quick. He's like, all right, I'm gonna let you go hide real quick. I said, I bet. So I go hide. I said they're clearly not gonna let me go home. So I catch up on this one dude, man. I get the drop on this one dude, and I up it on him from a distance though. I shot him. I shot at him, I should say, but I missed. And for some reason, I gave up my position. I yelled, "Fuck!" when I missed the shot. And he turned over, man. He started letting off a dozen shots in my direction. Like, he let off over 300 shots in my direction, honestly, and he didn't hit anything. And I'm glad, because if he did, I would have probably been left. Honestly, man. If he didn't miss them shots, I would have probably been left. But they wasn't them little metal ones either. They were just little plastic ones. So I mean, if it hits you, you good. Unless it hit you in the eye or something. But and then randomly, as he was shooting at me, man, he instantly fell and was like this to the side of his face. He's like, ah, but he wasn't crying though. He was just yelling like, ah. I'm telling you, man. And he looked like he was about 14 years old at the time too. Like, he was definitely older than half of us there. Like, that should be weird to me, man. I hate it when I was coming up and I seen like, but you see that everywhere though. But I just never liked seeing that image, especially as I got older. Cause like when I was like around 17 years old, I was about 17 years old at the time. No, I'm capping. I was around 18 at the time. And my nephew, he was hanging around bro was like 10 years old, hanging around 15-year-olds. I'm like, I was looking at it, he's like, what the fuck are you hanging around a 15-year-old for, And I was asking him, like, bro, you have no business out here hanging around 15-year-olds, at all. Like, you have no business hanging around this, like, but not time to get serious. We talking about a story right now. But yeah, he got hit on the side of his head, like right there, like. He got hit right there on the side of his head, like right there. And that motherfucker he got a knot on his head like this big, like it's like he had a whole motherfucker tumor on his shit. That motherfucker was way out here, like I'm like, damn, you good, bro? And wasn't crying though. I'm like, that's a tough little nigga right there. Even though he was older than us, I still called him that, But that shit was crazy. After that, we definitely ended it though, and I'm surprised, man. I'm surprised the folks ain't called police on us, man. 10 little black boys out there shooting guns. Clearly they're BB guns because you can see the orange tips on them, but they wasn't going for that though. They said that's just something they just painted them to look like BB guns, but they're real guns though. It's probably what they was thinking though. But I wasn't tripping on it though, because like I said, as long as we didn't get caught, I'm straight. But yeah, that was about the time. That was the first time I ever got into a BB gun fight. That shit was crazy. There was another time. It was this time we were on the east side, and some places where I was from, the east side was considered the bad part. So it was probably the worst. The east side was considered the second worst place you can be at, where I came from. And I was having a BB gun fight with one of my cousins, and he had little hunting rifles though. The motherfucker was about that big. Put them over again, like, bah! He had little hunting rifles though, and man, we was at like a little park type area though, and there was so much land, man, around the park. Yeah, there's just so much land around there. Not many places to hide, so he started pumping that motherfucker. He was like just. So you grab it, you know how it comes like this, and you open it and close it, open it, close it. He was just like, just pumping that motherfucker up. That way he get full impact. He aim you down, he aim you down, and that motherfucker hits you, it might fuck you up, bro. So he was like, man, you giving it maximum capacity, you trying to blow me off my dick or something? And shit, he started hitting me, man. He started hitting at me from the corner. I'm always ducking and dodging them shots. Like, I was like easy arm, I dashed, I ducked, and I hid behind the tree, making sure the motherfucker didn't see me, type shit. So I went on this lady's property, hid behind her recycle bin, and all you hear from the window was, "Get the hell away from my house! Get the hell from my house!" I look at the window, I'm like, man. So I sprint way across the street, jumped in them bushes and just like, again, fall asleep in your bushes, wake up in your grass type time. And I kind of crouched into the bushes. I poked my head up and I was like, wow. Let that shot off at him. Of course, again, my aim was bad. It didn't take me until at least 18, 19 years, I say 20 years old, honestly. It didn't take me until like 20 years old to learn how to aim with a gun. like I just thought if you just did this, you're gonna hit your shot. But then it's like, there's more to it than that. But yeah, so anytime you hear, if I ever had a BB gun fight, anytime before now, chances are I never hit a shot on nobody. It's a good, man, I'm telling you. It's a good thing, man. It's a good thing it was a good thing, man. They were BBs instead. But just know when I had them shootouts, though, I was really out there, But, yeah, man. And I ain't gonna lie, man. I was running. And I wanted to end that fight so bad. Because it's like, I knew I was never gonna hit him. And he was, man, I was feeling the wind come past. That's how much he was pumping that motherfucker up. And then he poked his head up from that grass. I started running in a straight line. Like, he could have T-boned me if that bullet hit me. It was gonna, like, I would have been knocked off, But he was running, and then he shot. Again, I felt the wind go past my leg, but I wanted to act like I got hit. I was like, my leg, my leg. My leg, oh, man, yeah. Acting like my leg was hurting, but in reality, that nigga never hit me, though. But I had on jeans, so I said, no, bro, stop, my leg hurt, man. Nigga never hit me, though. Because I knew if he hit me, that shit was going to hurt, because he kept pumping that bitch up. I mean, he's standing there for 20 seconds. Just doing that for 20 seconds, ready to blow shit off. Like, he was ready to knock my shit over type stuff. So I'm like, nah. I wouldn't even be surprised if he pumped that shit up to maximum capacity, picked me off from a distance, ran all the way over there, pumping it up, running over there, pumping it up, stood over me with it, bam! And it just ended me right there. So I wasn't even trying to go for that. So I'm like, nah, I'm good on it, man. You got me in the leg. That's all it is, man. And, I was kind of paranoid about that kind of shit, too, because I remember there's this little lovely, white, nice couple walking by, and the wife looked at me, smiled, and waved, and I said, dude, put your gun down, bro, and I smiled at her and I said, hi, and then she said, how you guys doing? I said, I'm over here rubbing my legs, like I'm hurt. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm good. She said, you okay? I said, man, yeah, I think I got bit by a mosquito. She said, oh, they'll get you. You should wear some bug repellent next time. I said, oh, yeah, I just wouldn't know where to find that at. I've been asking my mom, but like she be, just doing whatever, trying to get this nigga from trying to play with the BB guns. Like, man, fuck away from me, man. You see, I'm trying to have a conversation with this lovely white couple. But, yeah, after that, I just kept pretending like my leg hurt. And he started walking ahead of me. He said, all right, let's go home, man. And he was probably like, he had to have been like 14 at the time, maybe. Had to have been, but he started walking ahead of me, and I was started rubbing my leg, and I had a smile on my face, like, yeah, I did that. And then he turned around. I had my little pain face on again, so he didn't know I was trying to stop, but yeah. Man, a lot of crazy shit, man. But I couldn't do it because I knew it was going to be ended me if I even continued to try and go on with it.